A very good evening, all of you. I am Nikita and I welcome you to this session. The importance of VARC for the college JBIMS, right? Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies. So, today we are going to see how important VARC is as a section for MAHCET, right? What can be your strategy for scoring in VARC? And of course, we are going to solve some questions so that we can see the important question types. We will also see the weightage of various areas in VARC, right? So some questions for you and some pointers to make your preparation more focused, okay, so that you know which areas are the important areas and you need to focus more on. All right, so as I've told you, we are going to solve various questions and not just discuss the pattern, etc., because I'm sure you know that by now. Yes, so you know that I mean, in the paper that happened in 2023, in all the three slots, VARC had 50 questions, right? So I'm expecting that this time also there will be 50 questions in VARC, right? Of course, the number of questions is not set in stone, but then I'm just going by what happened this year, right? Okay, now you know the pattern very well. There is no negative marking, which is a big plus when it comes to VARC, when it comes to English, because if you are able to narrow down to two options and then make calculated guesses, even that can significantly boost your score in the English section, right? So keep that in mind, no negative marking. All right, now what is the target percentile that you need? Yes. A question that worries a lot of us. Yes, what is the target percentile? So, if I again look at the previous year's paper, a person who was an outside Maharashtra student required 99.98 or 99.99 percentile in order to get into JB, right? So, this is something that we are targeting. Now, even someone who is from Maharashtra, for them also, the percentile was 99.93. So, just slightly lower. So, that means we have to score significantly well, okay, overall. See, there are no sectional cutoffs, so you have to maximize your overall score and you have to target somewhere around 145, 146. That's the score that you have to target for this 99.98, 99.99. All right. So if overall I am chasing a score of 150, okay, from five sections that I have here, four sections, sorry, from these four sections that I have here, because QA and DI is one section effectively, right? So how do I go about it? How much should I score here so that I am able to chase this score? Now, let's see. In VRC, again, as I said, that this year there have been 50 questions. Now, I understand that for some of you, VRC is a strength. For some of you, it is not a strength. So, accordingly, your target score from these questions, your target score from these questions can vary. I'll tell you what the scores should be for someone for whom VRC is not a strength, for someone for whom VRC is a strength, and for someone who is just okayish, right? So we'll look at all the three categories. Let's first look at the question types that came in the exam. My aim is to show you that vocabulary emerges as the most important area. Count the number of questions. Yes, tell me. Count the number of questions and tell me how many questions from VARC came. See this. From vocabulary came, sorry. FIB is based on vocabulary. Antonym, synonym. So 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 4, 19, 19 plus 5, 24, right? And even phrasal verbs. So 25 out of 50 questions, that means half of your VRC section is vocabulary. So you need to be strong in this area. Practice a lot of vocabulary questions at this stage. Okay, so learn your vocabulary through questions. That would be my suggestion, right? Go for various quizzes that are available on our app. Go for previous year non-CAT papers. So go for NMAT previous year questions, right? So practice vocabulary questions so that you get exposed to a lot of them. You get exposed to high frequency words. Okay. Then next is, of course, grammar and RCs carried almost equal importance, right? You can see this here. So 13 questions each grammar and RCs. This is just one of the slots that I picked up for analysis, right? So because vocabulary is important, we are going to practice vocabulary questions today, right? There are a couple of grammar questions as well. What should be your target VARC score? As I said, I'm giving you three scenarios. One in which VARC is not your strength, one in which it is an okay section for you, and one where it is your strength, right? So three scenarios here for you. In any circumstance, try to score a 30 plus, okay, in this section if you want to chase an overall score of 146, right? Then, if it is your strength, nothing like it, aim for a 40 plus. It is very well achievable, okay? And this 40 plus will actually, count as 30% of the score that you need for admission to JB, right? And as I said here, your time-saving questions, vocabulary, in case you've worked and practiced on grammar questions, they'll be scoring for you. And even the RC questions in MAHCET, they're not very difficult, right? So you can actually maximize your score. Now, some of you must be thinking, oh, but then I don't have that kind of time. You can afford to spend approximately 40 minutes on the VARC section. Even if you plan more time for your LR section, I mean the LR questions, I should put it that way, you can afford to spend approximately 40 minutes on VARC in case you are getting a 40 plus from here, right? So this would be my advice to you. Now, we'll come to some questions. So majorly vocabulary questions today, right? I hope I have given you a picture of how your preparation should be focused on different areas, right? And how your VRC questions can help you chase the score that will take you to JB. Okay, so the first question is a synonym question. Again, because such questions came last year, they are common. You have to give me a synonym of scintillating here. Let's see what you say. I want quick responses. These are time-saving questions, so quick responses needed. Yes. What do you say? Synonym of scintillating, a common word, a high frequency word, as we call them. Star says C. All right. Ashmita says C. Okay. For vocabulary, even the bank PO exam questions can help you. In case you're looking for more vocabulary questions to practice from, the level of your vocabulary in MAHCET is similar to the level of vocabulary asked in various government exams. So you can look up to, you can actually search for them. Okay. Look them up. That's what I wanted to say. C is what I've three of you are saying. So I've got three responses. Absolutely correct. C is the answer. Sparkling is scintillating. So in case you do not know the meaning here, then this question could be relatively challenging for you, right? Why? Because in that case, pure could also fit. See, we are saying walk by the sea during dusk to experience the beauty of nature. You will see scintillating water, crimson sky, and the setting sun. So it could be pure water also. Just saying that in case you have no idea about it, then this could be confusing. It could be refreshing water also. However, usually when we say refreshing water, we talk about drinking water. So eliminated. Frosty, the word itself is associated with frost. So this water is going to be extremely cold. So I'm sure the author did not mean this because the author is talking about the beauty of nature. I'm looking for a positive word here, not frosty. Similarly, blazing was easy to eliminate, right? So blazing fire. Yes. So blazing means extremely hot, eliminated. So the choice was between C and D, and there also you can see that C is a more C is an idea that resonates more with the beauty of nature. Hence C. So learn to eliminate also. Yes, Star, it is helpful for CMAT as well because in CMAT also you have vocabulary questions, you have grammar questions, and in fact, if you look at last year's CMAT paper, vocabulary questions dominated there as well, right? So it is helpful. Okay. Now, another synonym question. Now, here there's no sentence to help you. I want you to give me the synonym, or in fact, the meaning of this word sesquipedalian. Okay, that's how we pronounce it. Sesquipedalian. Let's see what you say. Yamini says D. All right, that was quick. Others. Sesquipedalian. It is an adjective. So MAHCT sometimes asks long words. It asks the spelling of long words. That's why I gave you this word. Okay. Ashmita says C. Nidhi says C. See, there's a... Okay, okay. 2 is C. All right. Perfect. So, see this. A very easy way to learn sesquipedalian. Sesquipedalian is in itself a long word. Yes, it's a long word. So its meaning is also long. Just a hack to remember it. So it is used for a word that is extremely long. That is polysyllabic. Okay, polysyllabic. That means it has multiple syllables. Multiple syllables. So it will take you a while to pronounce it. Right, so a polysyllabic word, a long word is a sesquipedalian word. The word itself is one such word, right? And it is also used for writing style. So, for instance, in scientific journals, in various formal issues, you can see that people sometimes use these long-winded words. Okay, so for them also you can say such sesquipedalian words, right? So, C is our answer here. Perfect. All right. Now let's come to antonyms. So here's a word for you, and there's context also to help you. Tell me, what is the antonym of crestfallen? I think the context makes it very easy. Nidhi says A. All right. Yogita says A with a question mark. Ashmita says C. Aboli says A. Yamini A. All right. So it's A versus C in the chat box. Okay. All right. So what does crestfallen mean? It means someone who is sad, disappointed. Yes, that's clear from the context also. Of course, if someone criticizes you a lot, you would be sad and disappointed. What has happened to me today? Right? Disappointed, not appointed. Okay. So this is the meaning, and I am looking for an antonym. So humiliated gets eliminated. Perturbed again means extremely disturbed, eliminated. We're left with these three. Vainglorious. When someone is excessively boastful about their achievements, that's when we call that person vainglorious. Right? There are always these people who are always boasting. So such people are vainglorious. But tell me, because a lot of you said A, is the opposite of sad boastful? The opposite of sad would be cheerful, isn't it? So the closer antonym here is triumphant and not vainglorious. Vainglorious is boastful, whereas when you are triumphant, you feel victorious. You would be cheerful. Yes? Hence, C here and not A. Okay? Fulsome. What is the meaning of fulsome? So, when someone praises you excessively, right? Then that's when we say they are fulsome in their praise, right? So, the fulsome press. Sometimes the press praises celebrities a lot, right? The paparazzi, they praise celebrities a lot. So, the fulsome press. So excessively praising. That is the meaning here. So even this is not an antonym. Even this is eliminated. Make sense? Vainglorious is not a positive word actually. Vainglorious is a negative word. I understand that because of glorious, it sounds like a positive word, but it actually means someone who's, very vain. There are people who are very vain, who are very arrogant because they boast a lot about themselves. So, such people are vainglorious. Okay? All right. Now, another antonym, this time without a context. Give me the antonym of the word fawning. Yes. Let's see what you say. Fawning, antonym I need. B or C, all right. Others, what do you say? Remember, I need an antonym here, not a synonym. So don't give me the meanings of the word. Don't give me synonyms of the word. Who is a sniveling person? When someone snivels, what do they do? Yes, a lot of you've said sniveling. Why? When someone snivels, they cry or complain. That is the meaning of sniveling, right? Crying like this. And this way of crying is called sniveling. Okay, so cry or complain. Fawning, on the other hand, is when you are a sycophant. So actually, sycophant is a synonym of fawning. Flattering is also a synonym of fawning. So these two are eliminated. When you're fawning, you are obsequious. This is another high frequency word for you. Okay, you are excessively servile towards the other person. You obey whatever he or she says because you want to flatter this person, right? So fawning, obsequious, servile, flattering, sycophant, all synonyms. Deer like a fawn is the young one of a deer. Yes. So fawn means that, right? So this is again not an antonym. What are we left with? We are left with B and D. What do you say? Which is the better antonym here? Yes. Sneha says D. Absolutely. D is the better antonym. When you are proud, will you be obsequious at all? Will you be servile at all? When you're proud of yourself, let's say, a proud person. So such a person will not be obsequious, will not be servile, right? Sniveling, on the other hand, it's associated with someone, making petty complaints or crying. It's more associated with that idea. So it's not antonymous. Okay, that's what I would say. So someone whining is not antonymous to someone flattering. All right, but someone proud is antonymous to someone being servile. Okay, coming to this fill in the blank. Now, as you can see, we have prepositions here, right? So tell me which preposition fits in this blank. Nidhi says D. All right. Others? Anji. What about others? Just one response. Okay. It came dash her that it was foolish to expect him to help. So she realized this when something comes to you. Oh, it just came to me. I have forgotten my key at his house. Okay. So when something comes to you, you suddenly recall it or you have a sudden realization. So to recall or to realize, that is the meaning. To recall or realize that it was foolish to expect him to help. No other preposition can come here. So this was not really a grammar question, to be honest. This was a phrasal verb question. Phrasal verbs, verb plus preposition carrying a fixed meaning. So here, come to has a fixed meaning. Came to has a fixed meaning. That of realizing or recalling. Right? So, D Delhi. Perfect. Okay, another fill in the blank. This time you have some vocabulary words here. Tell me which pair fits the best. Yes. Let's check your understanding in this. Poonam says E, all right. Excellent. So, Poonam, Yashi, Star, Madhura, all of you are correct. E is the answer here, okay? And very happy to see this that all of you, in fact, till now in the chat box have said E. Most of you, okay? I've got one D also, but most of you have said E, right? Why? See, A and D can be easily eliminated. Because if the nature is coherent, that means it makes sense, or if the nature is orderly, then this idea of someone spending their entire life trying to understand it does not make a lot of sense. Okay, so this is eliminated because of that. Then, if you look at B, it says the erroneous philosopher. See, a question can be erroneous, an answer can be erroneous. Erroneous means incorrect, but we can't use erroneous for a person. The incorrect philosopher. No, okay, someone's views are incorrect. So A, B, D go out of the picture. So it was really a choice between C and E, right? And if you look at this, pensive is someone who engaged in deep thought. Okay, someone who engaged in deep thought is in a pensive mood. We could say that. And someone is trying to decipher, trying to understand stuff. When will you try to understand something when you're currently not able to understand it? So when currently it is mysterious for you, currently it is enigmatic for you, right? So currently it is puzzling or mysterious for you. That is when you would try to understand it. So this makes more sense as compared to C, which has the word random, right? So, and in fact, pensive makes more sense than perceptive. Perceptive is that you are able to, you're very aware of your surroundings. Okay, you quickly become aware of what is happening around you. That's when you are perceptive. So, no, it's about the fact that he was engaged in deep thought and this was puzzling or mysterious for him. Okay, so E is the answer here. Good. All right, I think yes. Cogent, in case I skipped this, cogent argument is a logically sound argument. So cogent means anything that is logically sound. Okay. Let's go to the next one. One word substitution. So I want you to substitute this underlined phrase, okay? And I want you to substitute it with one of these. Let's see which one fits the best. This should be a semicolon. What do you say? Nidhi says D. All right. Okay, a lot of D's I've got. Others? What are the others doing? I want everyone to respond. Yes. These are time-saving questions, scoring questions. Perfect. He is reticent. That is the answer. Sullen is when you are irritable, you are sulky. That's when you are sullen. So no, it does not have to do with being sullen. It's about speaking less. So garrulous is the opposite. Again, garrulous cannot be the answer. It means loquacious, talkative, right? We covered it in another session. Someone who prates. If someone prates, again they talk a lot, okay, and often they make little sense. So you can associate prate with a parrot. A parrot repeats everything that you say to it, and often sometimes it does not even make sense. So this again cannot be the answer. So the choice again was between B and D here. When someone is terse, yes, they speak a few words, okay, but terse has more to do with abruptness, how you are abrupt, how you give just, let's say, 2 3 word responses and then just stop abruptly. So a person who's terse is often associated with being rude. Okay, so this is not the idea. This is more to do with the fact that he's shy, he's reserved. Okay, so he speaks less because probably he's shy, reserved, and not because he's rude. So reticent is the one that fits. Reticent means diffident, shy, reserved, right? That's the idea. A playlist for RC passages for MAHCET. Um, I'll have to check. I do have an RC session on Monday though. CMAT, for CMAT, I have an RC session on Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday at 12 p.m. I have an RC playlist, but these are CAT RC passages. So you can find RC toolkit. Okay, you'll find it under this head, RC toolkit, and we have a special MAHCET playlist. So if I took RC sessions, they will be present in the MAHCET playlist. MAHCET specific RCs. I'm sure there will be a couple of them at least in this playlist. Okay. For CMAT again we have a playlist. Again you need not worry. For CMAT also there's a dedicated playlist. I think they'll all be in the description box. So just check them, these links. Okay. Now, one word substitution again, one more question, right? Came last year. I mean, this question didn't come last year, but this question type came last year. Yes. Thank you so much. Star says E. All right. To perform and express stories or thoughts through gestures. Who is this person? What does this person do? A, all right. Madhura says it's A. So HR, here's a link for you. Our team has just shared a link. Aboli A. All right. So two A's versus one E. Anyone? Yes. Who says that no, E is the better answer? Let's make it more competitive. Okay, so now it's A versus E in the chat box. All right, another A. What about others? So three A's, two E's so far. What about others? Four A's. Okay, 100% A. Absolutely correct. A is the answer. So pantomime is a form of, art expression. Okay, it's a form of drama theater where you express stories through gestures. Okay, so that is pantomime. All right. Uh, Again, when movies were just invented and they were silent movies, pantomime was used a lot, right? In comedy specifically, pantomime finds a lot of use even today. Now, a ventriloquist, see, our ventral side is our this side which has our stomach. Okay, then loquist is to speak. So this person makes sounds using his or her stomach, using this area, okay, the throat and down to the stomach. That person is called a ventriloquist. Okay, I understand that you must have seen such a person with a puppet, and the puppet also moves along with the person, but it is more to do with the voice that comes out of his or her stomach. So that's where the name comes from, right? And therefore is not that great a fit, because this is the meaning of pantomime. Okay, mimicry is when you copy someone, right? And often in an exaggerated way so that it's funny. Slapstick cannot be used as a verb. Okay, and a theater artist who slapsticks does not make sense. Who does slapstick comedy? That makes sense. Slapstick is a form of comedy. It is used as a noun. Okay. And here you again try to make the other person, the viewer, laugh by doing silly things. Okay. By doing silly and embarrassing things. So, for instance, in case you've seen movies starring Johnny Lever, right? So that's his brand of comedy. So he would do silly things, he would make himself look silly, and then people would laugh. So that is slapstick comedy, right? To ham it up. This is an informal expression. When you ham it up, that's how we say it. You simply overact. Okay, you are overacting. So that's the meaning of hamming it up. And these are therefore eliminated. I think again the choice was between A and E. So good, those who said A. All right. Phrase replacement. Now we have some grammar questions. Okay. So let's see. Five options. E being no error. Let's see what you say here. Poonam says C. All right. Okay. So can we use heavy numbers like this? Substitute it in the sentence. Does it make sense? As she invited heavy numbers of guests. Does that make sense? Or the guest came in heavy numbers. That makes sense. So, heavy numbers is a correct expression, but it does not fit this sentence here, right? The guest came in heavy numbers. The guests came in heavy numbers. This is the correct way to use it. That means a lot of them came. Okay, E, no error. Quite a number of guests. Absolutely correct. There is no error. Okay, uh, so E is the answer here. Quite the number, no. Quite the number, a number of guests. This indicates that there was a plural entity, and quite serves to show that okay, there were a lot of them, many of them. Okay, so that's how we use quite a number of guests. Actually, the quite has just been used for emphasis. Think of it like this: as she invited a number of guests, the quite is for emphasis. Quite the number does not fit. Quite a many, no, does not fit. Okay, some numbers, no. Again, numbers itself does not make sense here. Forget whether some fits or not, right? So it is no error, quite a number of guests. I hope you know the difference between a number and the number. Again, it's a subject verb agreement rule, right? So a it refers to a specific number, one specific number, and that is why it is singular. ये होता है singular. Just imagine any number. Let's say it was 300 earlier. Now it has increased to 350. So it is one specific number, and that's why I'll say has increased. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. A number is plural, the number is singular. Okay, let's have a look at this good sentence correction question. Okay, this is your original sentence. What kind of a car do you want? Okay, and these are your options. The first one is simply a repetition of the original. So tell me if the original is correct or if we need any revision here. Yes. Okay. So I've got A. All right. I want more responses. Then I'll explain this. Okay. Another A. Others. I want at least 7, 8 more responses, then I'll discuss it. C, A, all right. C, okay. All right. Let's see if A is correct. So, have you noticed this when we use this structure? What kind of a person, see, what kind of a person does that? What kind of a person is he? Okay. So, when we use this, what kind of a person does that, right? It has a negative connotation that you don't really like the person. What kind of a car is this? That means probably you don't really think it's a good quality car. You don't really like this car. So, what kind of a structure is used when you want to convey something negative? Okay, here that's not the idea. So, no, A is not the answer. Then, what kinds of? The moment you use kinds of, you need to use plural with the noun also. What kinds of cars do you want? Okay, so B eliminated. What are the kinds of, so again, it's wordy, it's more wordy as compared to B, plus it's grammatically incorrect also. So we're left with C and D. D is absolutely incorrect. Again, it has A and are you wanting. So the answer is C. Good. All of you who said C, what kind of car do you want? Okay. So let me just test if this concept is clear to you. Okay. And I want to teach a new concept also through this. What kind of books? So here this is sorted, right? This is clear to you that C is the answer. So both are correct. Both are correct. Why is it that both are correct? You must be thinking that, second one is correct. Second one is definitely correct. I even told you this for kinds of cars. So, first is correct because see, if let's say this person likes only romantic novels, just one genre, right? So, this person will say romance. Whereas if this person likes multiple genres, then this person will say romance, thrillers, okay, fantasy. So when you expect the answer to be just one genre, you will say what kind of books. When you expect the answer to be multiple genres, then you will say what kinds of books. Both are correct, just that your expectation is different in both the cases. Here you're expecting just one genre, one type, one category. Here you're expecting multiple genres, multiple categories. Okay, remember this. All right, any query in what we've done today? I hope it is clear to you that if VRC is your strength, you should aim for a 40 plus. It is achievable in MHCT, okay? And accordingly, adjust your time, right? And 50 questions is what we are expecting. But again, you should remember that this is not set in stone. If any of your friends or you are thinking about taking CAT 2023, then you can see our stellar results. We've also had good conversions, okay? And this is the batch that is available right now. It has a lot of features. You can explore them in detail. The link is in the description box, right? So consider enrolling in this. And to make it accessible for you, we've also we keep conducting these scholarship tests, to make the course accessible to students. If they perform well in it, then we give them a 90% scholarship, right? So 29th April, 7 p.m. Do take this test if you plan to take up the program. And yes, in case you are specifically confused about VRC for CAT 23, then do attend this workshop by Vikrant sir. He'll address all your queries. He'll devise a test taking strategy for you, right? So 22nd April, 7 p.m. Do attend. Now, limited seats are available, so you need to, register right now. Okay. Also, for CMAT aspirants, 100 most expected CMAT questions. This series has been going on. So keep joining in this. In case you haven't seen some sessions, do see them right now. And in case this is a problem that where do I get questions to practice from, then we have daily section wise quizzes for you on our app. Okay, so you can download the app and you can attempt these quizzes there. Hi Khushi. Also for CAT aspirants, this series again has been going on. It started on April 6th, so it will be a long series. Okay, we'll cover 500 questions with you, so do keep attending. You will keep on enhancing your RC skills, VA skills through this series. We are everywhere. Okay, so you can join us on our app. You can join us on various social media platforms, right? The RC videos, our team just shared a link for this. Just a second, let me just repost it. I'll just repost it. Okay, give me a second. Okay, you'll have to copy paste this, what I just posted. MBA की classes कब होती हैं? See, usually I meet you at 12 p.m. Okay, Tuesday to Saturday, 12 p.m. and that is the time that we usually have reserved for VRC. Now, for last laps, the time varies, right? So, for instance, your MHCT sessions are happening at 7 p.m. Then we are launching CMAT last lap, right? So, there it will be, the timing will be slightly different, 12 p.m., 3 p.m., right? So, usually 12 p.m. All right. So, thank you for watching. I hope this session helped you and all the very best. Keep preparing. Bye bye. See you.